Hello, everybody. It's show 65. We're live from Dubai, New York, and Minsk.
Hello?
On my right, or on someone's left, I don't know. There's Rolf in the middle, and Duke on the end. So,
Hello.
start. Hello, everybody. How are you two? How are you? Duke? How's Duke? Hello, Duke.
Hello out there, everyone.
Come in, Duke. Can you hear us?
Somehow audio is messed up here.
Duke's on another planet.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You're breaking up, but I can hear. I don't know. Hello?
Okay, let's start anyway. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Yeah, I can
we're going
hear you. I don't know if
attempt
it's going to be.
have another
It might
show.
be
The last
breaking
one was
up
cancelled
sometimes.
because we had some technical
It's hard to tell.
And can you hear us, Duke? Get out. Just get out of the studio and then come back in. Maybe that'll help.
It's breaking up. It's difficult.
Hello, Duke.
Can you guys hear me? Is
Yes,
it breaking
I
up or? Get out of the what?
Get out of the studio and then come back in. Yes, yeah, we're fine.
I can't hear you. It's not coming through. Get out of something. What?
Okay.
Go out of the studio and come back.
Get out of the studio and then come back.
Oh, get out. Okay, leave and come back. I'll do that. Okay. Okay.
Okay, he's gone. Hey, Rolf, how you?
Good. How you doing, Dave?
No, Rolf's now frozen.
I'm frozen now.
No, he's moving, slowly moving.
Can you hear me?
Motherfucker.
Why is it always when something? Yeah.
Rolf, can you hear me?
Yes.
A little bit better.
Can you hear us, Duke?
Rolf's frozen now.
Yeah, now I can hear you better.
Rolf, can you hear me?
Why?
Yes. Yes.
I think you guys are neither one of you are frozen. I can hear you.
For me, you're frozen now. I don't know what's going on.
No, Ralph isn't frozen for me.
Today when
what
we
the
were
friggin' crap is going
looking
on?
at it, there was no problems whatsoever.
Latest technology, right? Being censored.
Well, now I don't have any problem. Now neither one of you are frozen, and you're not breaking up. So the audio is okay and the video is okay, but before it was bad.
Okay, Duke, start. Play the first video. Start talking, and we'll just catch up.
Yeah, let's see here what we can do. Let's see here. Yeah, actually, I was going to be talking a lot. It's mostly, it wasn't going to be much of a video at that time, but yeah, let's see if I can find it here.
Start.
Should I play it?
You want me to? No, I'll play it.
Well, that's the first one.
يا ساتر يا شباب يا ساتر يا شباب ايش فيه؟ يا ساتر يا ساتر ايش فيه؟ ايش فيه؟ دبابات اجى من هنا لحد
So what's happening in this video?
Yeah, that's that Khan Yunis. That was from like what was it, like 4 days ago. But it's just symbolic for what's happening all over Israel. I mean, all over
Rob, can you hear
Gaza
me?
for a long, long time, even since October. They're just bombing the
This isn't
crap
very
out of the place.
successful, is it?
And yeah, it's just continuous bombing, and it's in Rafah, and as we all saw, Benjamin Netanyahu is in Washington D.C. saying practically nobody was killed in Rafah, which is a big lie, and lots of lies and lots of it's just a terrible show. And he's got how many? He got 58 standing ovations, 58. And look at the mere fact that Benjamin Netanyahu can give no notice. He can give no notice. He can give 24 hours notice, and he can come and visit both houses of Congress and the president and somebody who is running to be, I mean, both of them that are running to be president, all within 24-hour notice. There's nobody on earth that can do that, you know?
Yeah.
Even Zelensky, he even tried to go to Israel, and they said, oh, they don't have time for him, or, oh, a scheduling problem, or something like that. So even Zelensky has to schedule, I don't know, weeks in advance before he can go speak to anybody there. You know, it's incredible. And Zelensky was on top of the world a little while ago. Everybody was getting on their knees to kiss his feet, you know, and now it's Netanyahu, and he's massacring mostly children. It's incredible. I mean, what's going on?
They love killing people.
The whole world is so messed up.
Babies. They love killing babies.
Yeah, I got a good video. Let me see if I can find it. It's not really that great a quality, but it's really symbolic here. And she pretty much sums it up really good. She was Journalist of the Year for Ukraine, and she's very brave, a young, beautiful girl, and you know, you can play with and listen to her summation about what's going on in the world. It's really incredible. She's absolutely accurate about it. Diane Panchenko. So if we can play it here. Do you have it, Dave? The video?
My dear Americans, today I speak to you on behalf of the entire Ukrainian people. The warmongers have attempted to shoot Mr. Trump. In Ukraine, evil has been unleashed, and those behind this monstrosity have succumbed to their own creation. Until 2014, we had a normal, democratic country. Yes, we had our fair share of challenges, including corruption, but we were able to address them ourselves and earn a living. But since your government supported a military coup, famine, cold, ruin, and war have plagued Ukraine. Today, Ukraine is a miniature model of the world spiraling into the abyss.
We were a second away! We were a centimeter away from half of the problem being gone, and you missed!
In my understanding, Ukraine's strategy should be to depopulate Donbass.
The Ukrainian government is against democracy anywhere on the planet. They force us to fight for the interests of a small group of people who want to keep their money and power. The truth is, Ukraine is fighting for the autocratic system, aiming to eradicate democracy all over the world. The real situation there is anything but what Zelensky wants you to believe. The borders are covered with barbed wire and minefields. Every day, Ukrainians kill fellow Ukrainians trying to escape Ukraine. Official accounts report hundreds of thousands of men fleeing abroad. Illegal crossing costs $15,000. Dodging the draft costs $30,000. There is no freedom in Ukraine. Journalists are banned from approaching borders. Journalists are banned from approaching the front lines. Journalists are banned from speaking freely. Dozens of journalists have been killed or jailed. In my homeland, I've been assaulted 3 times. They're constantly threatening to kill me, just because I'm calling for peace. They tried to kill Donald Trump for his calls for peace. They tried to kill Elon Musk for his calls for peace. They tried to kill Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico for his calls for peace. They were just calling for prudence. What kind of world is this when one can be killed for advocating peace? By fueling the conflict with Russia, the hawks have divided our world. It seems the West is only interested in making more and more enemies. Today, it's not just Russia, but also China, Iran, North Korea, and so on and so forth. 3 centuries ago, in his philosophical essay Toward Perpetual Peace, Immanuel Kant declared that humanity could achieve universal peace either through universal enlightenment or a devastating conflict. This is where they're leading us. The greatest catastrophe in history. Be better than that. Choose peace for the world.
Wow. Yeah. Incredible, huh?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Well, that's better. It looks like the technical issues have gone.
Really?
Nice.
Can you
Okay.
hear us? Yeah. Can you hear us okay?
I can hear both of you.
Okay.
If you guys can hear me.
Okay. Yeah, we're fine. Okay, let's keep going.
Yep.
While the ball's rolling.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of these videos like I mean it's like as this thing, you know, we were saying like Sodom and Gomorrah, and that's only one part of it. It's just like it's just incredible. And these people it's like they're definitely doing this stuff on purpose. And it's like for what ends? Obviously to get rich. These people want to get powerful and rich. And it's like unbelievable. I mean, the things that they'll do just for this sort of thing, they'll destroy the entire world just for themselves. I don't know. I guess they got their own little world. Maybe they have their bunkers in case it's a nuclear war somewhere, and you know they want to see everybody kill each other. And then look at this stuff in Paris. You know, that's mostly what we were talking about. This Sodom and Gomorrah stuff. It's. And then they had to apologize. All these advertisers were ripping their funding away from this thing. It's terrible.
Yeah.
The Olympics.
For me, for the most part, it's the stuff from it's Netanyahu. You know, I don't know. He's like the one leading the charge, the butcher of Gaza, or something like
The
that.
Olympic Committee has taken the video off.
So,
And the Olympic Committee's taken the video off this website and YouTube.
Yeah. What does that tell you?
hello, can you hear me? Yeah. Well, say again.
Didn't say anything. Go ahead.
What's happening?
Nothing.
I didn't hear what you guys said. Maybe it was breaking up there.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
But even these kids in Gaza, I mean, and it's probably soon coming. Hello? It's kind of breaking up a little bit. Now the technical issues are coming back a little bit.
Okay,
But
keep going.
yeah. So this is another video of
They getting food?
yeah, it's amazing that these kids are all happy. Their life is ruined. They're built. Look at all the ruins around them. But yet they're smiling and happy just to get some food. You know, it's like these little victories.
supposed to be a modern
All these
world,
little-
but we're not.
You know, I mean, look at the rest of us. We want our Amazon orders, and we want our restaurant food and all that. And these kids are happy just to get some free handouts of some bread. You know, it's to me that's somehow that's disturbing. I don't even know why. You know, it's good to see happy children, and but it's like it's I don't know. Somehow it still disturbs me. I don't know about you guys. It's like what I don't understand what I'm looking at there. You know,
What's the way the warmongers? They like to disrupt
because these
people's lives.
people, it's almost like you know they have no home. They live in a tent.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's like a new normal, and it's for Palestinians. Maybe they've already achieved that. A new normal is to be living in poverty and just to be happy to get some bread and maybe even to get some safe drinking water. I mean, and maybe that's in store for the rest of us. Maybe that's what's going to happen in another 10 years. I mean, for most of us, you know, they destroy most of the world, and maybe that's what they want. You know,
That's
they're
what
going to
they
be
want.
rich, and they're going to have their new electric vehicles or whatever the hell, and we're going to be happy when we get a loaf of bread, even if we're working all day long.
Bugs.
You
No,
know,
they want us to
I
eat
don't
bugs.
know.
Bugs. They want us to eat bugs.
I don't understand what the heck is going on. To be honest with you, this is just it's just too much. Yeah.
Going backwards.
And in the meantime, you guys remember just a few days ago, we didn't report about it because we missed those live streams, but it's what's going on in the Republic of Georgia. And, you know, they tried to assassinate. Well, that's another thing. But now they were moving away from bugs, and now they're going again back to this this artificial meat. So it seems to me like that might be more expensive to make artificial meat. And you know the selling points of that says, oh, look at you won't kill any cows, and you know we'll save the environment from cow farts. You know how cow farts are gonna how cow farts are supposed to mess up the entire world. You know, it's
They were complaining
it's
about
incredible.
oysters
Let's see if
the
I
other
got
day.
where in the heck is that? I don't even have that anymore. I
Did
had
you
a
see that? They were
picture.
complaining. Okay.
I don't understand why my complaining what?
They were complaining about oysters creating methane the other day.
Complaining about oysters. Let's see.
I want to know what they're going to do with these volcanoes.
You know, I save pictures and everything, and what I don't understand is how come they don't get saved. It's let me go see if I can find them somewhere else. It's like
The good news is, everybody that's watching,
Huh?
we'll be back in the studio Wednesday night, so there won't be any technical issues, I think.
well, it's
that'll
not
be
even on my Telegram. I don't know. That's pretty weird crap. I don't know. Huh?
What?
Rolf, can you
What's
hear me
the
okay?
one that just went off again? There's an active volcano somewhere.
Mount Etna,
I don't know if it was Asia or whatever.
Yeah.
Italy. Mount Etna. Rolf, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, to me, it's still kind of it's like breaking up too. You know, I don't know.
Everything's
It's
fine on
you
my
again.
end.
So let's see
Yeah,
what I
me
can
too.
else find. It's yeah, a lot of the videos I saved for some reason I see them, but now they're not even there. But anyway, this thing we can talk about Donald Trump a little bit because we missed Donald Trump. What was going on there, and all this stuff. It's you know we should have had a discussion about that. It's like, and so many people are saying that this is that was a planned assassination. It's not like just some lone guy that got crazy. And I think Dave, at least you posted. I don't know if it was your speculation or somebody else's, but it looks like they did this. This guy was a patsy, and somehow it was a patsy with Lee Harvey Oswald. He said he was a patsy, and then they shot him. because he said he did not shoot John F. Kennedy and that he's a patsy. And then they shot him before the trial and before they could even question the guy. And with this guy here, this Crooks, I don't even believe what they're saying. They said they found eight shell casings. But remember, there was this McLean. She was asking Cheetle in the Senate, in the House hearings, and Cheetle refused to say how many shell casings they found. She asked her many, many times, and she was even yelling at her. It says, how many shell casings? She admitted she knew how many, but she would not tell the American people. And here's a trial, and she took an oath to tell the truth, and she would not tell. And then supposedly somebody came up, I think they told Ron Johnson, Senator Ron Johnson, and said it was 8 shell casings. And that doesn't make sense. As I was mentioning earlier, they have, like the M16A1, it had automatic, semi-automatic, and then safe. It just had 3 settings. And then the M16A2, it has 2 settings. It has semi-automatic and safe, which you can't shoot. And the AR-15 has semi-automatic and safe, just like the M16A2. But the semi-automatic, it's like, no, they had single burst, semi-automatic, and safe. And obviously the single burst is 1 bullet, and the semi-automatic is a 3-round burst, and that's on the AR-15, which is supposed to be the rifle this guy had. So in other words, every time you press it on semi-automatic, you have 3 shells come out. It's 3 at a time. And for that guy to be firing single shells, they said they found 8 shells, and nobody heard 8 shots. I think maybe they heard 8, but you could see that the sniper on the roof was firing. So where were those shots at? And they're right next to Donald Trump. So in other words, we didn't hear those. He had a silencer, but you can still hear it, very light. But this guy supposedly took 8 shots, and
it would be.
Huh?
It would have been the noise through the PA system as well. So you fire off a shot, and you would have heard that through the PA system.
I'm waiting for him to come out, the FBI to come out and say, yeah, we've known about this individual for about a year. We were warned about this, but we didn't find any evidence that he was going to commit such a heinous crime.
Well, they say he was a Trump supporter. So I'll tell you.
No, he wasn't. They didn't say that. No, they didn't say he was a Trump
Somebody
supporter.
said that. Somebody
No,
definitely said that. I don't know who it was.
No, never. They said he was a registered Republican.
Yeah.
Well, somebody, and I don't know if it was Jimmy Dore or somebody said that somebody else said, like a senator, I don't know, that he was a Trump supporter. But I'm not saying that it's true.
Communist demon rat probably said that. Some communist demon rat probably said that because they say a lot of shit that isn't true.
Well, all this stuff. There's all this stuff. I've heard everything. I've heard one person say one thing, and the complete opposite is somewhere else. So all this stuff, it's just like the Kennedy thing. One person says something, somebody says the opposite. So you don't know.
The demon rats, the Democrats, you can always tell. They always lie, for one. But everything they say, it's the exact opposite of what they're saying, what they mean. If they say, oh, today I'm going to go out and praise the grass, then they're actually going to go out and kill the grass. They're not going to grow the grass. They want to kill the grass.
Well, it's just like peace. They want peace, but yet they're promoting war. They do everything to promote war.
Well, again, when they say peace, they want war. Now, if they came out and said, we want war, you would think they'd want peace, but they actually would mean they want war. See how they work it? They've been doing it for years.
Jeez. I just don't believe anything anybody says anymore. Anything you see putting out on the news, it's
everywhere.
Like,
yeah.
It's almost like you can pick and choose, and then you go with that, and you see if it's going to work. And if somehow that conflicts, then you got to say, well, okay, I'll step back and I'll take this other piece of information and I'll fit that in there. And you got to keep doing that until everything fits. But yet the news, that's what the experts are with the media. They create some sort of a paradigm, and they get a perfect story that all fits together and everything makes sense. So they create a fake paradigm world, and you say that's what happened. They're right. You know.
Well, for
That's
instance,
what
the local radio up here is saying that Kamala Harris is beating Trump or just 1 point under Trump. And it's like, are you kidding me?
A few days ago, she was 2 points ahead of Trump in some polls.
Yeah. It's like, come on. Their
Yeah.
boy Biden couldn't even get nowhere near Trump. And now Kamala mysteriously is like, oh, just like 2020. Remember? Trump's up here, demon rats are down here. And all of a sudden, 4 hours later.
Oh, during the vote. Yeah.
That's 100%. Yeah.
Well, what was that you were saying? I think was it I think it was yesterday or the day before, something about, it's very easy for them to fix the votes. They just, it doesn't matter who wins.
Yeah, they don't care about votes. I mean, they manufacture votes. They've been doing it for a long time, cheating.
Yeah, there was some expression from Stalin. It says it doesn't count how people vote. It's who counts the vote that counts. So.
Now, a normal individual person with common sense and normal capabilities would not fight against voter ID. You need an ID to freaking buy cigarettes in this country. You need an ID to go into certain places in this country. But when you go to vote, it's racist. You're racist.
Yeah.
Vote for, with an ID in the voting. And
I remember
stupid people don't get that.
Yeah. I remember Trump going against Hillary Clinton, and they were interviewing people, and they had a bus behind them. A whole bunch of people. They put them on a bus, and they're going from one polling station to the next voting for Hillary. And they vote 8 times for Hillary Clinton in all these different polling stations. The same person casts 8 votes. It's like incredible.
Yeah. Well, during the 2020 election,
they admit it. It's right on television. They're admitting that that's what they're doing.
Yeah. They have video of people stuffing these ballot boxes with fake ballots.
Yeah.
And they denied it. Oh, no, that's fakery. That's Russia. Russia did that.
But I think if we're on YouTube, I don't know if we're on YouTube. You're not allowed to even talk about that on YouTube.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, we are on YouTube. We are on YouTube.
Oh, strikes.
Uh-oh.
But did you see the video where that kid, that 20-year-old, he said, what was it in the end? He goes, you got the wrong guy or something. What was that?
Oh, that was a fake. That was a guy that looks like Crooks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He said he was Crooks, and it was like, he looked a little bit too muscular. Crooks looked real skinny and kind of small.
Well, he was a trans person, wasn't he? One of those those new religious trans people.
Crooks? I don't know.
Yeah, I believe he's a trans.
They're lovely people.
His name is Cracks. He went from crooks to cracks.
We're on YouTube. We're on YouTube. So they're lovely. They're lovely people.
Yeah.
Yes, and we love vaccines.
Oh, I want to get my shot.
I went out today and got 3.
You got 3?
3. Yeah.
They're charging now. They want $100 a shot. I'm like, come on, it was free a couple years ago.
Yeah, they were paying you.
They were paying you, threatening you.
Wow.
People, it's amazing how people forget what they just did to people. With that whole COVID hoax and the vaccination and they just keep going. They got what's new today, like we got to defeat Russia, got to kill all the children in Gaza. We got to kill these people. We got to get rid of farming, animals, humans.
So what's this video on the roof, Duke?
Oh, we didn't play the roof video. That's just the one where these guys are standing around and the body is still sitting there, and they're just talking, and it just shows that the slope of the roof is like 5%. And remember the original. That's a different one.
Yeah, sorry.
Do you want me to find the roof one again?
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So anyway? So what was that video with the police? That's in Paris, isn't it?
Yeah, that's before the what do you call it?
The Olympics.
Before the Olympics started. I had more, but
And next time
Yeah.
they say they're violent, the police in Russia or Belarus, we should show them that one from France.
yeah, exactly. That's the stuff. I had other like videos and pictures and things. I can't understand this, but whenever I do the show, a whole bunch of these things are gone. Like I 2 or 3 videos in between there, they're gone. I don't even understand how that happens. They just all of a sudden, poof, the videos are gone. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's magic.
Yeah, I mean, let's like I deleted them. I didn't delete them. I didn't. I don't know. But I got to figure that one out. But anyway, let's see if I can find some other good videos here. There's all kinds of things going on. Here's one with it's has to do with what happened last night. Remember,
What happened last
we
night?
had this attack by Israel. Well, yeah. Well, we had actually like I think it was the day before. It looks like what was happening is maybe because this is not even clear that Lebanon might have shot some sort of rockets or something towards some targets in northern Israel, and Israel trying to shoot them down with their Iron Dome. Um, Apparently, what happened was it somehow failed, and then one of these missiles from the Iron Dome it hit this town. What is that called? Something Shams. That's a really weird name, but
As
let's
as
see. I wrote
happens
it
with
down
the
here.
Ukrainians.
Anyway,
As happens with the Ukrainians.
yeah, similar thing. Anyway, so it hit these people, mostly children, I think, that were like playing soccer. Looks like a kind of a sport complex. And by the way, these people are Palestinian Syrians. They're not Jewish, but they're sort of Zionist because they live in. It's weird, but they're not Israeli citizens even. And Israel is saying that they're citizens, which they're not. They're just doing this for points so that everybody says bad Hezbollah, poor Israel, poor Israel. So anyway, it killed, I think the number is now 15, 15 people. And it's Israel trying to shoot down this missile or rocket or whatever. I don't even, who knows what happened. I guess, I don't think they have the investigation even finished yet. But anyway, it killed some kids. It's really gruesome. And this
Well,
is
you
one
know
of
what
the
I'm
videos
saying?
that was,
Is
You know
this
what these call?
Huh?
gruesome on the video?
well, not this video. They have, but there's
Okay.
some videos and photographs that are really terrible. But this one
Okay.
just
As
shows
long,
one of the things. They even have the video. Somebody was filming when it hit from a distance away, like quite a few blocks, and they showed that it landing in the town. So they,
Hmm.
I didn't put that one up, but no, this one's not gruesome here, but it's just people, and you can see that they're of Arabic origin.
Where's this now? Israel?
Yeah, but they're Druza. I guess they're called
it's in,
Druza, and
it's in the
they're
Golan Heights.
of Palestinian and Syrian
It's the Golan
um,
Heights in
ancestry.
Syria.
Yeah, it's occupied Golan Heights. And these people, they don't like Israel. They don't want to be a part of it. They're just there to, and being peaceful because, they know they're going to something's going to happen to them if they start to rebel. But they don't like the Israelis. and the Israel is acting like they're Israeli citizens. And I think Netanyahu and some of their Mossad people are still in the United States, and they're just using it for bonus points to try to get the USA to join them and start bombing Iran and Hezbollah and all the same old thing, Yeah. And I had found the article, and I made a copy of it from 1984, where Israel is saying that Iran is 2 months away from a nuclear bomb. And I put it on here
I've
again,
been saying that
but
for years.
it disappeared. It like last.
They've
They've been saying
for
that
years.
forever. Netanyahu was he was peddling that for many years. So I guess it kind of got ridiculous because they've been 2 months away from a nuclear for 40
Obama
years.
and Biden been giving Iran all kinds of money in their administrations for them to further their nuclear program, I think.
I don't know. I think they were supposed to, I don't know, understand.
Well, they say it's
they
for,
do something.
for medical and food, but we all know that the Democrats lie, the demon rats lie. So when they say it's for, to help people, what they really mean is that, we want Iran to get a nuclear bomb so they can launch, so we can launch ours. See how they do it? They want somebody else to do it.
Probably.
The United States loves to get people, they come into a country, bomb the shit out of it, mess everybody's life up, and kill a bunch of people, and then say, it's for democracy.
Yeah, it's just like one of the biggest supporters of Hamas is Benjamin Netanyahu. He's the one that, had a lot to do with creating it, and he funds he was funding them, and then he's the one that badmouths them. So it's pretty strange,
Well, they set it up. They love setting stuff up. You know what I mean? And then they can blame them when they set them up to do it.
It's just like what we're talking about with that Crooks.
Yeah.
And I think it was Dave that because I was coming, and I saw this theory because they do it all the time with patsies. I'll bet you what they did. They approached this Crooks, because he's in a shooting club, and they said, you're a pretty good shot. I don't know if he was or not. Some people say he was a bad shot. Some say he was a good shot. Like I said, you hear all these different stories. It doesn't matter. But anyway, some people say that they approached him, maybe, and then they said, we can use your help. We're shorthanded or something. And then they put him on the roof, say, your responsibility is this building. That's why it wasn't covered or something. And so he's supposed to sit up there and make sure nothing happens to Trump is possible. I have no idea. So they give him, maybe they were told that he's got blanks. I have no idea, what the real story is. They're not even going to tell us. So he's up on this roof, and then maybe somebody else shot Trump, which is highly possible. And so you saw in the videos where Trump is speaking from one angle, and you see the sniper up there, the Secret Service. He's got his gun trained on Crooks. He's sitting there looking through his sight, looking at Crooks, but he's not taking the shot. So they don't know who this guy is. He's not one of them. And he's some kid with long hair, not wearing their clothes. And he's got him in his sights. Yeah. And like I said, I've been to the ring.
What about the guys police that were in the building right there looking through the window, and they could see Crooks sitting there laying out with his gun, and they waited to shoot him? I heard that they're actually people that shot Crooks. There's the people in the building right by that roof, that very high-angled roof. And that they waited till he shot. They wanted him to shoot and kill Trump, and then they would kill him. So they waited for him to get 5 to 8 shots off. Then they shot him. Oh, okay.
I heard a much different story. I heard them say there was nobody in that building. It was too hot. So there was the heat. The guy left.
Well, I heard that the person in that room shot Crooks at that point. The guys on the roof by Trump, they didn't shoot him. That's what I heard.
No, I saw his gun go up.
They're looking at him. Did he shoot yet? Oh, he shot. Okay, we can shoot him now.
No, the guy's gun. You start hearing pop, 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 and you see the Secret Service, the end of his gun go up. So he did take a shot. But he probably did. He waited until the shots hit Trump, and then he took the shot. But like I said, I've been to the range with these guys with handguns and not with rifles or nothing like that. I wasn't so great with a rifle anyway in the Army, but I went to the range with handguns with these people that are like Secret Service people. They're protective services for like the President of the United States. Like I said, I've been to the range with them, and these people, they are fast. They can pull their gun out and really fast go bam, 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 and then they get a tight shot group about like that. It's incredible, and it's
Well,
like I'm
that's the
saying,
other thing.
bam,
That's the other thing. None of them
bam.
were Secret Service. That's another
Huh?
thing I heard. None of them were Secret Service. They were all DEI agents in the Department of Homeland Security. Rookies.
I heard something about Homeland Security too.
Yeah,
So,
there was only a couple actual Secret Service that were actually around Trump. The big guys, you could tell the Secret Service, and all those women and stuff. They had no clue what they were doing. They were just like DEI
yeah,
play position. The DOJ set this up. They deliberately took the Secret Service detail that Trump usually has and put it over to Jill, that witch.
Jill Biden, yeah.
Yeah, because she was doing something. So they sent all these
Yeah, in the area.
non-Secret Service agents, and they made a mess. They literally made it so this was able to happen. And they know it, we know it, everybody knows it, but nobody's going to do anything, you know.
You saw these
They're mad.
these Secret Service girls, you know, and the
They
one
weren't
like there's the one everybody noticed. She couldn't put her gun in her holster. That's one.
Yeah.
But they were in a
Yeah.
panic and they were looking
Yeah.
all over and they can't concentrate on anything because because they're looking there and they look over there. There's no way they're going to find anybody, but just keep switching and looking around and all this. And they're small and there's a lot of men and they're all big and they can't see around these men. You know, somebody could have a gun behind one of these men and I think you'd want to have taller people than that instead of these short little girls that are panicking. They're not
Yeah.
trained at all.
No,
I'll tell you
no,
what,
no.
they're not trained at all. I could have done even a far better job than those girls, and I'm not trained either.
That's why they were there. That's why they put those
So-
people, they put the real Secret Service out and installed these DHS agents that are DEI hires because they created the scene where this guy could get up on a roof that's very pitched. I mean, it's a huge pitch. I don't know if you guys saw the pitch. It was a steep pitch. I don't know how they could even get up on that roof. I mean, and they set it up. They want Trump gone because everything they've been doing for the past 8 years has backfired on him. It's actually helped him, and this shooting just made it even better for Trump.
Yeah. That was
Now
unintended.
they're so desperate. They put this hackling hyena, crazy woman, running for president. It's like watching a movie, you know.
Yeah, well, that one I have a video of somebody talking about Kamala Harris, somebody who knew her father and I guess is very familiar with her. He's, when she was in this video, you ought to listen to this guy because Kamala Harris, I remember seeing some videos of her, and it's like she's like a groupie for like black basketball players and stuff, and she's like just hanging out with them. And I had a kind of a girlfriend in high school, and her mother was sort of like a groupie for the Seattle Sonics, And I'll tell you what these women do with these athletes and stuff like that. I'll tell you, but in any case,
smart because they end up getting money in the end.
Yeah. A lot of them get money because these basketball players or whoever has a lot of this money, they can pass out a few $100 like you and I maybe pass out 10 or 20. So it's, and Kamala, she was getting, I guess, I'll tell you what, obviously she had some skills because she got a long way with a lot of whatever she could do. And
she knows one guy,
you have to pay attention to this video. And this one guy is talking about something about Kamala Harris, and it's on video. Part of it is on video when she's lifting up her head, and the guy is sticking his tongue out, and then she lifts her head up.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Who?
Mrs. Imhoff, Vice President of the United States, who goes by her maiden name,
Miss Kamala?
Kamala Harris. She's got 2 Jewish children she adopted. She married a Jewish husband who's got a interesting
I'm scared to talk
reputation.
about Kamala Harris. I'll let you have that one.
Well, that gives you
She's
some
a
influence.
witch, and she is a corrupt witch. She's been corrupt her whole life, and she fucked her way to the top. They used to detail this witch in the LA Times with her sexual escapades. She fucked damn near everybody trying to get up. She used to be a frat hoe when she was at Howard.
Wow.
And she ain't black. You know
I ain't
what
got
she
to do with
is?
this, Miss Harris.
No, I mean, well, don't. But she's
I don't know. I'm just listening.
Well, here's the thing. I actually met her father
Mm-hmm.
in Jamaica. I was the guest, sat at the governor general's table, and he was a professor.
Okay.
And he represents as a Hindu Brahmin. He admittedly has some Irish in him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The person that Kamala Harris is saying is her black great-grandmother is, in fact, according to Daddy, in an article he wrote, which has now been cleaned up on the online edition of that magazine, was a Hindu house servant, not a black woman. So her mother is listed on her birth certificate as Caucasian, even though she's dark. But she's a Hindu Brahmin Tamil caste. Now, interestingly, do you know what the anthropological name is for what Kamala Harris and her parents are?
Psychopath?
No, sir.
Indo hyphen Aryan. See, they are the original Aryans, but Adolf Hitler and his boys told a big lie. The blonde-haired, blue-eyed Aryans from the far north did not exist, never existed. They were the dark to swarthy to paper bag brown, dark-eyed, dark, coarse-haired,
living in mud huts.
Indo-Aryans from India.
Sure.
From India.
Northern part of India.
Those actually settled Germany, and some other people came in from
created
the
society.
steppes that lightened everything up a bit. So that lie is being told. So you got the Aryan Brotherhood, the Aryan Nation. What's going on is the Aryans, they claim to be one with, look like Queen Harris. You know, I guess what she did.
Queen Harris.
Right.
You know, LA Times ranks her out. I was out in LA, you know, when she was really.
I can see this article.
Before that, see, she got out and they ran a thing that when she went to law school, Willie Brown, that was his mistress. They used to have guards.
I heard about that, though.
Where they had one.
That's amazing. Willie Brown.
Seen Willie Brown sitting behind a desk with his tongue hang out, and Camilla is raising up after doing him, you know. And they ran this thing where he got her a job with a medical supply company that did business with the city of San Francisco. He got her a gig for 15 hours a week for $72,000 a year. And you have to understand that was 35 years ago. And then when they carried a thing where she moved up to 20 hours a week, she getting paid $120,000 for a part-time gig, and he bought her a 750i BMW.
Wow.
She was earning that. So then she had this thing where she was trying to get on with this big firm. They wouldn't hire, so she started screwing one of your buddies, an NBA player who was their biggest client. So she got hired. So then they ran a scandal sheet on her where she was trying to get on with the DA's office, so she started screwing the deputy chief DA to get on. So
yes.
So what do you see? I mean, you have a lot of knowledge. As you can see, you got the chat going crazy. You have knowledge that span back 30, 40 years. So what do you
50.
see? 50 years. Sorry about that. So
I graduated from college more than a half century ago, so it's been
crazy.
a while.
That's crazy. So do you see it getting worse with the media propaganda, or do you see things changing? Okay.
Yeah, it is.
So you think it's getting worse?
What happens is you've got some jackbooted, goose-stepping fascists who strong arm and take over the government. Then they take over the press, impose censorship, and they propagandize to stay in power. You had some pink panty-wearing fascists who, instead of goose-stepping, they switched and twitched. They took over the media, propagandized the people. Now they've taken over the government, and they are attempting to gut the Bill of Rights so they can impose censorship on you. Like,
wow, I could listen to that guy all day.
Yeah. Well, the black people, they created civilization now. They're the original Egyptians. They're the Aryans. That's the first I heard that, the original Aryans.
Well, what he's talking about, I heard about this in the 1980s, and studying ancient history, and they had Aryans. The Aryans were actually from someplace in northern India, and see, I don't know what he's talking about. Them moving to Germany, maybe, I don't know, but they were lighter. They were lighter skinned than in the southern parts of India, but they weren't like blonde haired and blue eyes, but they were lighter skinned. So I really don't, and it could be like these Khazars or whatever, these Jewish, they have all of this stuff. See, the big problem is that you don't know what is true in history because they hide so much from us. What really happened in history. Now they're trying to tell us that Russia was on the side of Adolf Hitler in World War II. And I mean, all this, you don't know what the hell is going on. I mean,
it's a psychological event. They do that to confuse people.
Yeah, everything.
It works. Look they got the black people huddled in these ghettos in these cities shooting each other. That's how Aryan race the black people are. They can't even figure out how the hell to get out of this ghetto shit because their minds are tuned for that's what they do. That's how intelligent they are. They love sitting in these ghettos, doing their drugs, drinking their 40s, eating their chicken, and killing each other.
That's not racist. Yeah.
Well, good. I'm a racist.
It's the same as us. Look at somebody like Donald Trump or a lot of these Jewish families. They can make money. They can do all this sort of stuff, and the rest of us. Well, to me, it's like I really don't have so much of a desire to be going out and trying to make huge amounts of money because it takes a lot of work. And it hurts to be using your brain. To me, I mean, well, I don't know. Anyway, but it takes a lot of work.
Make all this money, and the government wants it. They want to take it. They don't like that we're out there making money. They want that money.
You got to be a trickster. I tell you what. I was working in Germany. I was a dental technician, as I told you, and I was working my ass off. There was a girl. I was in charge of the laboratory for 2 dentists, and a girl that worked with me, and we weren't even talking because she hated the boss. And she got all the dental assistants, the girls, to also dislike the boss. And I liked the boss. He never treated me badly. All I had to do was do my work, and the pay was fine and everything. And then here I try to work more overtime. It has nothing to do with my boss. But sir, I was working my ass off already anyway. She was working half days, and she got more than half of what I got. So here I'm working overtime, many overtime hours. And yet I only got not even quite twice as much as what she was getting at half days. And then I decided, I'm going to work really hard this next month and put in a lot of overtime, 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. And I did a huge amount. I was doing mostly 20,000 euros worth of crowns and bridges and stuff. That was my usual. And then one month, I did 30,000 euros worth. And I think my pay was like 300 euros more. I was getting around 2,000 euros a month when I worked really hard. So I got 2,300, even though I did 50% more worth of work. So they took all the rest out in taxes. And I'm looking at her, and she's working half days, and she gets like, I don't know, 65 to 70% of what I get for all the hours and all the amount of money. And she was doing the stuff that wasn't worth that much money. So when I'm thinking, she's working and doing less valuable work and everything than I am, and yet she gets 60, 65, maybe 70% of what I get. I say, what the hell am I doing,
Yeah.
So the harder you work, the less you get for it.
The more they take. That's what we say here. The more you make, the more they take.
Yeah. But then you have people that have their accountants.
Like Ukraine and Israel to kill.
Well, you get people, if you can hire an accountant and some shady person or something, maybe they can get you more. I'll tell you what happened when I was leaving. There's a girl that used to work for those dentists, and she was working in the employment office, the unemployment, and I just happened to get her when I was leaving the job, and she had done something to me to where I get a little bit more money. And my boss, after I left, they said, "You got such and such amount of money, blah blah blah." But it was the girl in the unemployment office cheating to go against my boss, and actually got me more money when I left on my last paycheck or something. So, and it's because I didn't know what the hell she was doing, but apparently that's what it was. And I told my boss, I said, the one that was in the office was the one that used to work for you guys, and she's friends of Steffi, the one that hated my boss. And then when Steffi, they were able to fire her, they wrote to me, and then we finally got rid of Steffi. Because in Germany, you can't just fire somebody if you don't like them. It's not like the United States. You have to have a really good cause to fire somebody. So they were really happy when they finally got rid of her. It's just a terrible situation on how it all works,
Well, it's the way these people do it, man. Conquer, divide and conquer.
Oh man! So
look what they did with the COVID hoax. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now we look back and see what they really did, and a lot of people you don't hear anything. You got to get your shot and save me and protect me. You got the shot, right? You're protected. No, I'm not until you get it.
Yeah.
Put your mask on.
Yeah. It's like I'm vaccinated, so you have to get a shot so that my vaccine works. It's
Yeah.
Like, is that what they say?
Yeah. That's their mentality.
Yeah.
That's
when I was in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I got a ride with a woman. She was a lawyer, and her father used to be the prime minister of the country, but she would not. She let me ride in her car, so she rides in her car with a mask on, and she wouldn't let. First, she said I can't ride in her car unless I'm vaccinated and I wear a mask. Because I told her, I said, I'm not vaccinated, but I did have a mask. So I wore a mask in her car, big deal. And we were going to my land, because, a lot of people liked coffee. I was in with, a lot of people, even famous people even knew me. Not they didn't know me personally, but they knew me from seeing because I was doing the coffee there. But anyway, it's incredible. And, I wonder if she looks back and starts to realize how stupid she is. I don't know.
I remember when I was Ubering, the college kids were the most aggressive to pushing the shots on people. They were like, "Did you get your shot? Did you get your booster? You need to get your booster to protect us." I'm like, yeah, I got all boosted. I'm waiting for the new one. It was just I couldn't believe how easily this psyops took over people's minds, man. They were coming up to the Uber, getting in, showing me their vaccination card. I said, "What's that?" "Oh, I need to show you this, that I'm vaccinated." I said, "I don't care. That's your business." What world do we live in where you run around and say, "Hey, I got a tetanus shot today. You want to see my card?" "I got an anal probe today. You want to see my results?"
Jeez.
It's just I'm telling you, we live in a matrix. We live in simulation. This isn't real. I mean, just look at what's been going on. It's not real. Look at these mass people going crazy over Israel and Hamas, Russia and Ukraine. They're going over crazy because they won't let the kids sit in front of these half-naked men dressed up as women. There's something not right. And I believe, I'm starting to really believe it's a matrix simulation event that we're living in, and it's exposing itself because it's whoever maintains it hasn't been maintaining it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we're naming this something about like end times and Sodom and Gomorrah, this show. Unfortunately, I just had those pictures. Like, again, I don't understand what the hell happens to my videos or pictures and stuff. When we go on live stream, they're gone. But I just had the pictures of these weirdo people, dressed for this opening ceremony for the Paris Olympics, and like they're doing this sort of a parody
Dude,
on the Last Supper. where Jesus is a trans fat lady.
Yeah.
You know,
that's the architect. See, when you're putting your stuff in storage in the computer, the architect's in the background. We can't have that in there, in the simulation, and it disappeared.
It could be. Well, it's happened already a couple times. I said, "What happened to these videos?" I put them on here, and they were on here, and now they're not there.
Yeah, he's watching. He's like, "Oh, we can't have that. You can't show that to people." No,
Well, I don't know how many times it's happened already. I even putting it on the memory on the flash drives going to Dave, and it's like, and he says it's not here, and I said, "What?" I said, "It's there." He said, and he's looking, and it's not there. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Well, so why would these certain videos? I don't understand it. I just don't understand. Why aren't they there? And then I look, and you look at it when you leave, and they're there. And then I get there and they're not. I don't understand it.
Well, let's get back to the end times. I remember growing up in the 80s. That's all you heard about the Middle East. They're fighting in the Middle East, blah, blah, blah. That's all that went on. Same thing that's going on today. But this is, it's like they love the wars. They love seeing people get killed. They love the money they're making off their weapons. They love testing their weapons on a live active event.
Yeah, my father, I remember when I was growing up, I was a young teen or something. Maybe I was 12 or 13. And I remember a comment that my father said. I still remember it to this day. And he was pissed off. He said, "You can't watch the news without them saying something about Israel. Israel has to be on the news somewhere." And he was kind of pissed off because it's some little country. I don't know. It had hardly anybody in the country even back then, but they had to have them on the news. And it's just like these standing ovations, or even Tulsi Gabbard, Donald Trump. It doesn't matter who. Even Kennedy, Robert, if you don't support Israel, you don't have a chance in politics. And it makes you really wonder. It's like, so what that's telling you is there is practically no chance that can ever stop. The one thing about Obama, I don't think he really appreciated Israel and all the crap they were doing.
Oh, they hate Israel. They hate Israel. Obama hates Israel.
That's one good thing about Obama.
They're Muslims.
Huh?
Obama's a Muslim. They don't like Israel. They don't like the Jews.
Yeah.
They hate each other.
He still had to support Israel, obviously.
Well,
everybody has to support Israel.
They run the United States. They run the world, pretty much, the Jews.
Yeah, like I said at the beginning of this, and you guys
wanted to get rid of them all because they're sick.
Netanyahu, with no notice, he can just jump on a plane, go to the United States, and everybody in both houses of Congress are ready. Yep. They're sitting there and waiting for him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Standing ovations every single time. And it's
except for the demon rats. The demon rats, I heard the demon rats abandoned that hall, the Congress, when that Netanyahu got up there.
Oh, really?
The rats, they couldn't. Yeah, they hate the Jews. The demon rats, the Democrats hate the Jew. They love Hamas. They love Palestine. They hate the Jewish people or the Jew. Yeah.
No, I'm hearing them say like Schumer and all that. They all say they hate.
That's the politics. Well, he's a Jew. Yeah. Schumer's a Jew. He hates the Jews himself. He's a Jew. He hates the Jews because they're all Muslim now, secretly. They're secret Muslims.
Yeah, I don't know these people. I don't know. It's all about money anyway. It's whoever can get the most money
and what? Money and
power.
Power.
It's the same thing anyway. The opposite sides of the same coin. So, influence is power, and Netanyahu has all this influence. How many leaders who are some Abert or you had? I mean, all these former leaders of Israel. They get up in front of the Knesset. Whoever, or they go to these dinners and they're all laughing about how they control the United States.
Yeah. I'd like to see.
It's much cheaper to buy a U.S. politician than to buy a tank. So a tank is cheaper than a politician is cheaper than buying a tank. So
well, I don't think we have much time, so. Their plans are 110% running forward. They know all this stuff's going on. They don't care because their end goal is to take over, destroy, and conquer.
Well, there's one
control.
There's other videos I can show, but here's one. You know, Orban. Let's see. This one here. If you listen to this one, he's talking that he thinks that there's hope for the world, but he knows how it all works anyway. So this is just recently, the last day or so, I think, because this was from his site, his Telegram site, and it's the last thing he put up. So maybe it was yesterday. Orban speaking to people in Hungary. You have to read the subtitles. It's in Hungarian.
Okay.
So,
emlékeztetném magunkat arra, hogy az Uniónak van egy alapszerződése, amely szó szerint tartalmazza a következő mondatot, idézem, az Unió célja a béke, idézet vége. Brüsszel azt is sérelmezi, hogy háborúpárti politikának nevezzük azt, amit ők csinálnak. Szerintük ők a béke érdekében támogatják a háborút. A magunkfajta közép-európaiaknak rögtön eszébe jut Vladimir Iljics Lenin, aki azt tanította, hogy a kommunizmus eljövetelével majd elhal az állam, de az állam az úgy hal el, hogy előtte folyamatosan erősödik. Brüsszel is úgy teremt békét, hogy folyamatosan támogatja a háborút. Azért emlékeztessük magunkat arra, hogy minden kritika ellenére a békemisszión kezdete óta az amerikai és az orosz hadügyminiszter beszéltek egymással, a svájci és az orosz külügyminiszter tárgyalásokat folytattak, Zelenszky elnök úr végre felhívta Trump elnök urat, és az ukrán külügyminiszter pedig elutazott Pekingbe. Vagyis az elriedés megkezdődött, a háborúpárti európai politikából lassan, de elmozdulunk a békepárti politika irányába. Ez szükségszerű, mert az idő a békepolitika oldalán áll.
Well, it's one perspective. He might be right. Maybe they are going to try for peace because obviously Ukraine is lost and they're not going to recover. I mean, they're not going to win. There's no way. And so I don't think the U.S. wants to get involved. The only way that they could possibly win is if NATO got involved. And of course, Zelensky tries to find any way possible to get NATO involved, which is not working so far. So maybe it is peace. Maybe there will be peace. He says it's fermenting. Peace is fermenting at the moment.
That's only because we're a few months away from the U.S. presidential election. They talk this shit every time.
Yeah. Well, Trump, Trump, he's also a victim. He has to promote war. I'll tell you what, the U.S. system is never going to give up war. It runs on war. They have to have war.
We've been at war since World War II.
Yeah.
And they're still doing it, If they're not involved with the conflict, they're supporting and supplying with armament, weaponry, money, and propaganda. And propaganda. Yeah, this is peace. This is how we peace with bombs.
Yeah, Biden said that it's the first time America's not involved in any wars.
Yeah. Yeah. That was funny. I was like, what? What did he say? Did he just say that? Yeah. The first time in American history, I'm the president that brought peace. And there's no wars in my administration.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a historical president. And I'm stepping down because it's time for Kamala, our black woman, gay, or whatever she is, a whore, run the country. Yeah.
Yeah, they all say they have the greatest economy. Like under Biden, he said, I built the best economy America's ever had. Trump said the same thing. Like, what the?
Well, Trump actually did it. This guy did the opposite. Because see, when they say, I built the best economy in the history of the United States, what he's saying is, I'm the worst fucking president in the history of the United States. I fucked the economy up. I'm a fucking more. And I got Kamala coming in and finish my job.
Yeah. Well, Trump, actually, he didn't build a great economy. He was on the way to doing that. But see, they didn't like that. That's why they sent COVID in, because they wanted to stop all that.
Well, that and the elections. but Trump did build a great economy. Under Trump, I remember people were so happy from the youngest to the oldest, and people had money and they were going out. It was busy. And then as soon as that COVID came in, we can't have that.
Yeah. It was starting. Trump had got something started. He didn't do it immediately, but it was starting. It was starting to take off. And then that's when they had to put in the COVID stuff. And
the thing about Trump, he gave into all that. He trusted these idiots, knowing they hate him, knowing they're out to get him, and he still trusted them. I would have told him there's no freaking COVID. We're not closing down, and we're going to continue. And you don't have to wear a mask. And then he started promoting this vaccination bull crap. I'll be honest with you. He's no different than the rest of them. He's just part of the show.
Yeah.
Part of the show. If you look at it, there's no good, bad, good guy, bad guy. They're all the same. They just keep playing off each other. It's the system. We live in a system that's a very controlled system. By who? We'll find that out soon enough. I bet you.
Well, one of them is definitely Soros's.
This is bigger than them.
Let me see. They probably got rid of all those photos and stuff that I had. Yeah. Oh, shit. I don't know where.
Language.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's right. Yeah, look at this. I'm kind of wondering if there's it's not put into any other thing, but yeah. Well, here's something from a show from before. You guys can watch it. Diane Panchenko was playing part of it, but here's this. It's about the Trump assassination thing, and
it's this again.
Crazy TikTok girl. It's entertaining to watch this, to see how crazy these
people are. You're telling me somebody finally had the balls to bring a pew-pew, and he missed! We were a second away! We were a centimeter away from half of the problem being gone, and you missed!
I hate
white
these
man
people.
Attached to that trigger. I know it! We were a centimeter away! Oh!
That's how they control people right there, man.
Yeah.
That's the psychological psyop control mechanism working in that person's mind. She has no clue what she's doing. All she knows is she hates Trump. She's mad because they missed, because they told her all her problems are because of Trump and MAGA.
Yeah, exactly.
And the American flag and white people.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's incredible.
These weak-minded individuals, it's easy to take over the mind eventually, apparently. I mean, it's kind of wild.
Well, see, that's what scares me, and that's the thing I'm sitting here watching. And then they're talking about that we're going to have another pandemic, and it's like, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh no, nobody's going to be that dumb. Nobody's going to be wearing masks. Nobody's going to get vaccinated anymore. Oh, nobody's going to do that."
Guarantee you they will. Guarantee you.
Yeah.
Guarantee
I have a video. I don't know if I could play it, and I've been saving it. Maybe for the studio. I think I've had it even for I don't know, maybe for a month or something. And it's about these vaccines and all that. And it's she's some girl, and she's involved in some medical field, and she's talking about that. She's talking like about percentages of, and she's saying
we're on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm not going into the details. But she is talking and saying that most people are just going to rush right out and do the same thing again.
Oh, they're in line. They got their names on the list for the birdshot flu. They love getting shot up with all these chemicals, and then they bitch and complain and say, "I don't feel good. My heart don't feel good. Oh, I'm getting lightheaded."
Yeah.
And then they end up in the hospital, and the hospital says, "Yeah, you're going to die." Why?
Yeah.
We don't know. Did you change your habits lately? No. It's all of a sudden. Yeah, it's been happening a lot lately. We don't know why. We're
unexplained cause of death.
Yeah. It's a mystery. They can't explain why. Climate change. I think they're saying it's climate change. We need to stop eating, drinking, living. That's it.
Climate change. That's it. It's
Yeah.
and Trump syndrome.
Yeah.
Because of and
Well,
Putin. Putin.
If we get rid of Trump, we'll get rid of climate change, but they won't.
But it's Putin. Putin's somehow doing it.
Putin's the backup blamer. You know, blame Russia when the Trump thing don't work. You know, and then if the Russia don't work, go back to blaming Trump and MAGA, and you know, they just keep going all over. They're all over the place.
Yeah,
these people are insane, and it's going to be hilarious in the end. In the end time, you know, in the end results, when it all comes to head and everything's set and done.
But I guess right now, you know, Ukraine is they found that accounting error, and they found 6.2 billion extra US dollars for Ukraine, and at the same time, now, the F-16s are now arriving in Ukraine, supposedly.
Yeah.
So the world will be saved from the evil Vladimir Putin.
Yeah. Yeah, that Vladimir boy, it's all his fault. Trump.
Well, Trump is the agent of Vladimir Putin, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Collusion.
So,
yeah.
But the 2020 election was the most secure, and just election ever in the history of elections. In the history. And it was the most cheated election in the history. See, when they say it was the safest, they don't mean safest. They mean it was cheated.
Yeah, but of course, Trump was the one cheating, as we all know, right?
Oh, yeah. Trump and Russia, they, you know.
Yeah.
Golden shower, you know, that Trump boy, he got that golden shower going on over there in Russia and won the election.
Yeah, he likes that gold. Yeah.
I think we're witnessing God actually doing the weeding. You know, I wonder sometimes, I said, is this how God weeds the world? You know, from the good and the bad? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to find that out. I keep asking God. God's very quiet about everything, you know. God never, you know, except some people, they say, oh, God told me this and God told me that. It's like, oh, okay. And then find out they're on psychotic medicine and stuff.
Well, if you're best off if you convert to Judaism, because Palestine, God gave that land to the Jews.
Yeah.
I knew I must have seen it written somewhere, because he's a real estate agent as well. I mean, if you're God, you can also be a real estate agent. So he gave the land to the Jews, and so the Palestinians, they have to be exterminated. You even heard it in those videos. They have to get rid of all of them on there. You know.
Well, I don't understand that. Now, God could have got rid of the Palestinians like that, right? He could just smite them from the earth. I mean, but God's got a sense of humor. He goes, let's put the Jews there and see what happens.
Have them get rid of them.
The good Lord's a character, boy, I tell you.
Yeah.
He loves it. This is their game, man. This is their garden, man. They create these worlds and they have us all fighting, and they sit back and like, oh. You know.
Yeah, but the deal is, you know, I mean, we don't want any viewers to think actually that it, you know, and we don't want to sound anti-Semitic, and we're not against Jews, because if you look, for example,
I'm anti-Semitic. I'm 100% anti-Semitic.
Well, what, you don't like Palestinians?
Wait a minute. I'm anti-Semitic. I'm racist. I'm sexist. I'm all these things because I'm a white guy. I mean, God, you know.
Yeah,
I got more titles than God.
You're born that way. That comes with the skin color.
Yeah, I was born a racist. Growing up with a black family.
But I was going to say, did you guys also hear? You know, obviously Max Blumenthal has the gray zone. You know, to me, he's one of the great. He's Jewish, and he's one of the greatest investigative reporters there is, as far as I'm concerned. But I guess there was a guy in Africa, part of the gray zone. He was, I think, embedded with Wagner. And he was, you know, they had something went wrong, and they had captured some Wagner, some small group of Wagner, and they killed the guy, this guy that was part of the gray zone. So just to be putting that out, it's terrible.
Yeah.
You know,
well, love that. You know, that's one more. Every time somebody's killed, they love it. They probably have a little party in the back.
Yeah.
All right. Now there's only, how many billion people are here? 8 billion? So they keep counting down Oh, we're down to 7.1 billion, 5 or 6 more billion to go, you know. Killing people off. It's a genocide. We're living. They've been genociding us for a long time in our food, our water, wars. You know.
Boy. Whenever I hear that genocide, you know, and I was thinking, you know, you look at what was going on in Donbass before this thing started in Gaza, you know, and all the killing that West Ukraine, that they were killing all these people in East Ukraine, and of course none of it was reported in the West, you know. And I mean, it's like nobody thought that was suspicious, you know. So much stuff. Whenever something is bad happening to Russian peoples or Russia itself, it's not reported in the West. I mean, and it's like you have to start to think, oh, there's going to be it's a plan of something in the future when Russia decides they have to respond to this aggression. You know, it's going to be that Russia just woke up one day, Putin, and decided to start going after some people. You know, it's like what happened in Georgia in 2008 when Saakashvili, he invaded South Ossetia. And, you know, and what did they kill? 1,300 Russians or people in South Ossetia, which was kind of a conflicted zone, before Russia even sent any troops in there. And that was during the Olympics. And of course, they blamed Russia. But who took part in that? It was not just the United States. It was Israel. Israel was part of that as well, believe it or not. Oh, wow. And a lot of people did. Oh, shh, you're not supposed to mention that.
Yes.
You know?
Watch your ears, man. Watch your ears. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a wonder that right now the Republic of Georgia is getting some sort of sovereignty back, you know, because it's they were like the president who's now the president of Ukraine. She's actually French. She was born in France, and she's French to Georgian people, and she speaks French, and of course she's definitely for the European Union, and you know she will sacrifice Georgia. And she was a buddy of Saakashvili, who, you know hates Russia.
Did you see the new president of Mexico? She's got a huge nose. She's Jewish.
Oh, wow.
The president of Mexico is Jewish. How the hell does that happen?
Maybe like Argentina with Milei. I think he converted to Judaism. As soon as he won the election, he ran over to Israel and converted to Judaism. It was really strange.
Oh, yeah. Mossad. It's the Mossad operation, man.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. I don't really know what's going on. Like I say, there's even a lot that I like about Israel, you know, but it's just too bad that they're so anti-Semitic, which the most anti-Semitic people in the world are mostly, and I'm not saying all of them, because there's a lot of very good people, obviously, in Israel, but as generally speaking, are the Israelis. It's huge anti-Semitism, because Palestinians are Semitic peoples too. Everybody thinks Semitic peoples are only Jews. So I don't know.
I don't even
believe forget about Eskimo.
Jews are really Jews over in Israel. I don't believe any of them are actual Jewish people.
Well, they're not from that area. Maybe, you know, it's really difficult because a lot of people say Jews as somebody from that place, but Judaism is a religion, just like Ivanka Trump or something. She converted to Judaism, so it's a religion. It's not a nationality. So everybody, but those people like Netanyahu, they want everybody to equate Judaism with everybody in Israel. So if you're from Israel, then you're like a Jew, and they call it the Jewish state. So that's the whole thing. It's a screwed up world, and trying to mess with everybody's minds. And to make them think certain things, I don't, you know.
Yeah. Well, if we get rid of the religions, we'd probably get rid of all this crap.
Yeah, that's why I stay away from. I don't join a religion. I try to have what do you call it? I don't know if this word is sympathy or understanding for most all religions, and even atheism. I get along fine with them. Even people with different. Political, people that don't like the government in Belarus, I try to get along, fine with them. I look at maybe their positive things. I don't agree with them maybe about the government. They don't like the government. I do, and, if I can try to stay friends with them, it's not like, normally I notice in the United States, the way the people are, as you know, the way that we're conditioned to grow up in the United States, that if somebody doesn't see eye to eye with you politically or something, then they're your enemy.
Yeah.
And it's and I remember when like Desert Storm and all that stuff started, like you could have a friend, for example, maybe that's Iraqi, and then all of a sudden when this war starts, immediately you hate them. And it's like they didn't do anything to you, but you hate them because the government demands that you hate them. And it's like how the US works. And it's like if the US has an enemy, they expect everybody else to be the enemy of those peoples as well. It's like look at what Lavrov said about Orban. You know, they're making him an outcast because he wants peace. And just like what Diane Panchenko was saying, if you want peace, they don't want anything to do with you. It's like, you know, it's like, what? What's going on here? That's what she was saying. What the hell is going on here?
If you want to know what's going on, go look up the Georgia Guidestones that were blown up mysteriously. Tells you everything, their plans, what they want to do with this world. The Georgia Guidestones. They were blown up a couple years ago. That explains.
They were. People were telling me about those people in St. Vincent, like how big they wanted the population of the world to be and all that.
500 million. They want to get down to 500 million people that they can control and save the planet.
You hear about all these things, and I don't know what is true and what isn't. Like
that's
them saying,
there were
like there's some city underneath Denver Airport or something.
Yeah, down in Georgia, and it explained a whole new world order, what their plans were or are, and somebody mysteriously blew them up because that was they got proof. We got to get rid of these stones. Tells them exactly what we want to do, and it's like, well, we already know. Well, you know,
we should write down a lot of these conspiracies, you know, or things that are like
it's not conspiracies.
Like too
though.
strange.
There's no such thing as a conspiracy. Conspiracy is a CIA made-up term to discredit the truth and facts that they don't want you to know. That's a conspiracy. There's no conspiracy. There never was.
Yeah.
It's all factual.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, I think technically a conspiracy is two or more people getting together to get some task done, and it doesn't mean it's good or bad, but they conspire. But it's turned out to be a negative thing, you know. So everything is a conspiracy if you want to put it that way. But
it's
anytime you talk with somebody, like we're conspiring right now to put out fake news.
Yeah. But isn't it, what is it, truth over facts, or is it the facts over the truth? Kamala said that once. She said that she believes in the facts over truth, or the truth over the facts. And I'm like, well, what's the difference between facts and truth? Like, they want to make a difference. They want to say facts mean this, but our truths are true, factual. What we tell you is true, factual, over the facts, truth.
I don't know. You got me on that one. I don't know. Facts are just.
It's fact. It's fact. I speak nothing but truth over facts.
Yeah. Well, there's a difference, but it's like
people. This is the best economy in the world. This is the safest world we've ever lived in the history of Earth. Under Biden and Harris. I mean, they're bringing peace throughout the world. And they brought prices down. You know, they got control over the borders, not in the US, but I think, where's their new war on the border? He just gave a bunch of money for somebody's border out there. But yeah, they take care of other people's borders. They're helping people, you know. They're great.
Ukraine's borders and Poland's borders and Belarus's neighbors' borders and things like that.
U.S. bombs are dropped on innocent women and children every day.
Did we mention the difference? What's happening on the borders of Belarus? That they're stopping Belarusian cars going across.
Yeah, I don't know. We didn't probably mention that. A lot of things changed. Remember, I think we did mention before, you know, that they had this big buildup of troops from well, actually they were American
Okay.
troops and Ukrainian troops in the south, and they took them away. So Lukashenko took his troops away, and then days
Yeah.
after that, Poland started building up their troops on their border, and then what is it? A week after that, then they started doing this. What you're talking about with the cars, with
Yeah,
that you can't cross.
starting August 6th. Well, actually now, but if you're not the owner of the car now, you can't cross into the Baltic states. But starting August 16th, no Belarusian registered cars will be able to cross the borders.
Boy, they're going to lose a lot of money.
But last week, all the EU country citizens and the UK can come to Belarus, cross the land borders with no visa for 30 days.
Yeah. Lukashenko did that. So he's loosening things up, and they're tightening things up on the other side.
How soon before the Lithuanian government won't allow their people to go into Belarus? How soon will they do that, you think?
Yeah.
I don't think they're allowed to stop
I don't.
I don't think they're allowed to stop them under EU law. It's freedom.
Well, if I was
of movement.
Belarus, I would block my borders from everybody that.
No. You need to do the opposite. The EU should have done the opposite. They should have made it really easy for Belarusians to go to EU, so they like the EU. But now what they've done is all the Belarusians hate the EU because of what they've been doing, and now they're going to hate them even more.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. The U.S. will take care of everything. The U.S.
Well, it's authoritarianism, and that, they accuse Lukashenko of being an authoritarian. Maybe because he didn't lock people up during COVID. They locked you up in the West, but he didn't lock them up. You were forced to get a shot in the West, but you weren't forced to get a shot in Belarus. But yet he's an authoritarian, and they're not. And now he says, he loosens up the borders, and they tighten up the borders, but yet he's an authoritarian and they're not. It's like, what the heck? What am I seeing here?
Well, I keep getting flashbacks of watching the videos where there's somebody out all alone in the middle of the beach with no mask on, and all of a sudden you see a swarm of cops come and tackle him and arrest him because he didn't have a mask on, and he's nowhere's around people. And we've seen that a lot all over these white Western.
I think that was in Australia, right?
It happened here, happened in Australia, happened in England, happened in all the white Western nations that you had to have a mask. If not, I mean, there was a guy out in the middle of the lake fishing. He didn't have a mask on. They arrested him. They're a threat to the population.
They got on a boat and they went out there to get him. Yeah.
Yeah, way out in the middle of the lake or ocean or whatever. I wonder.
I think that was part of this. Remember that truckers' protest in Canada? Wasn't a lot of that to do with the fact that they were trying to make these truckers wear masks when they're driving their truck across Canada? Even if nobody's with them, they have to wear a mask in their truck.
I think it was something to do with the border. You had to be vaccinated. It had to do with the vaccination.
Well, that
they were mandating truckers be vaccinated before they could come back into Canada.
I thought it was going even just in Canada, not going into the U.S., just going maybe crossing states from
through the border.
Ottawa to whatever in Saskatchewan.
Well, I'm sure it was in Canada too. They were protesting the mandates in Canada, but the big one that I heard is that when they were coming back from the United States into Canada, they had to be vaccinated or they weren't allowed back into the country. That was the big
Canada.
part.
It makes you really wonder.
Canada's
falling. And remember if people donated even $5 to the trucker, the protests, then Trudeau froze their bank accounts. They couldn't access their bank account.
Yep. That's good governance.
Boy,
good governance.
What a nice
guy. Do as we tell you, or else we're going to destroy you.
Yeah, but yet Lukashenko's a bad guy. Look at the internet. We can access everything here. We can get Facebook. We can get all that stuff in Belarus, but yet they're banning all that stuff. You can't watch RT in the. You can. I think, as far as I know, you can watch CNN and everything in Belarus.
Well,
but if you go to Germany, You can't watch RT and things like that.
They don't want it. They don't want people to see the actual facts and truths from Russia, from the way Russia looks at it, because
like Kamala says, facts are true.
They're righteous. Yeah, they're righteous in their going against Ukraine to stop the slaughter of the Eastern Ukrainians, which are Russians. So they don't want people. They want people to only hear what they say. That Russia's bad, Ukraine's great. The democracy is is in trouble because of Russia. We got to defend Ukraine because they're the most democratic nation on the face of the earth.
In history.
And historical, no,
it's just like Netanyahu.
I
can't believe Netanyahu, and he says all that stuff is lies. All that stuff about Palestinians getting killed and all these babies. All the film footage and blood and gore and the destruction of entire
Israel.
cities. It's all lies.
I thought they took all the Palestinians and put them up in the Marriott while they destroyed the Gaza Strip. Because I think they got a big building project they got planned for Gaza along the waters and stuff. They want to build these beautiful motels and hotels and build a big canalway, and they want that natural gas, is it, or oil or something out there they want. They're not killing those poor Palestinians. No, they put them up in the Marriott and the Hiltons. They got them. They're just propaganda guys in us.
Did you guys hear about that this pipeline? Right now, it's only a memorandum of understanding. It's between Russia and Iran. I guess it has to go through Azerbaijan, and I think Russia has decent relationship with Azerbaijan. Unfortunately, not really Armenia, but they don't need to. They can go around Armenia very easy. But it's supposed to be like a gas pipeline between Russia and Iran, and it's supposed to benefit very much both countries into billions of dollars. And it's a real sanctions buster, that Iran is going to get a lot of money from that. So if that actually goes through, so like I said, it's only a memorandum of understanding at the moment. It's sort of like this, remember the Budapest memorandum, and Ukraine acts like that's a law. A memorandum of understanding is not a law. It's not official yet until it becomes a law. And it was something about getting rid of nuclear weapons, the Budapest memorandum, and Ukraine, of course, they point their finger at Russia. Look at all the bad Russia. We got rid of our nuclear weapons. And then, memorandum of...
But they weren't their nuclear weapons anyway. They were the Soviet Union's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
they weren't their weapons.
Why.
They weren't their weapons.
Yeah.
They were giving back they're giving back the Soviet Union's property.
Yeah. Well, I think they were even in Belarus, but I think in those days, Lukashenko, he got rid of them. He didn't want them. And of course, now with these hostilities with Poland saying that they want
they couldn't have used them anyway, because all the codes and all their programming and all that was in Moscow anyway. So.
Yeah, true.
They were the Soviet Union's. They were the Soviet Union's weapons. They were the Soviet Union's weapons. They had to give them back.
The United States.
It'd be like Germany keeping the US's nuclear weapons if they wanted to. You can't do that. They're the US weapons.
Yeah.
The great instigator, the United States of America.
Oh no, but they making peace through war, and I think back in the old days, and I even kind of bought into that. I'm thinking, what? Oh, that makes sense. A deterrent, being a deterrent. I don't know.
Well, I don't think there were too many problems in the Middle East until the United States got involved. You know what I mean? The United States came in and just, said, well, we don't like you. We're going to bomb you in the name of democracy and freedom.
Well, yes. There's how many people come out and say that the U.S., even there was like Jimmy Dore talking about even Trump coming out and admitting it, that they go into these countries to take their resources. That's the whole name of the game, is to, to get more money, to get the corporations in there to harvest the resources and to make money off of them. You hand something to the countries themselves, but you take the lion's share, and the US has gotten rich from that, and they've gotten used to it. So you got these mega companies, like what we're talking about earlier. You have all these brands of clothing, these fashion, and they're all over the world. They're in every country. They're in Belarus, all over, and there's how many malls? Just like I think I was mentioning Zara or Collins or something. I don't know if Collins is American or British, but these clothing outlets or whatever, they're all over, and they got thousands and thousands and thousands of them, and they're all making money and all these. And you can imagine how much money those things are bringing in, and even like beer, Miller beer, it's all over in Belarus, which I don't see why they even drink it. I think they used to have Budweiser and things, but even that. But I think, what is it? There's only 2 or 3 beer companies, Interbrew or something, and they own most all of the breweries. I don't really know.
Смотрите, 9 июня американский сенатор Линдси Грэм давал интервью каналу CBS. Он чистосердечно, откровенно признался, что Украина нужна Соединенным Штатам Америки, поскольку располагает, прямая цитата из американского сенатора, критически важными полезными ископаемыми. Мало того, он даже сумму назвал на 10-12 триллионов долларов. 35 триллионов долларов – это госдолг США. Вот это, считайте, как бы треть с точки зрения американского сенатора от госдолга США. Неплохая сумма для Вашингтона. Вот давайте процитируем Линдси Грэма. «Я не хочу, — сказал Линдси Грэм, — отдавать эти деньги и активы Путину, чтобы он поделился ими с Китаем». Знаете, что удивительное? Линдси Грэм даже не упомянул граждан Украины. Он, в принципе, как и все американские политические деятели, не рассматривает жителей Украины, украинцев, как людей, которые могут теоретически хотя бы управлять собственными ресурсами. Для Соединенных Штатов Америки, и это показывает практика, на всех уровнях, будь то исполнительная, законодательная власть, будь то группа американских силовиков или общественных деятелей, граждане Украины – это инструмент, это расходный материал, это то, что будет обеспечивать Соединенным Штатам Америки выход из их внутренних кризисов, их менталитет доминирования и ресурсную базу.
Makes you wonder when the Ukrainian people are going to realize that they're just tools. They're cannon fodder and they're tools. Of course, Zelensky, he's a happy tool, because he's becoming a multi-billionaire from getting all this money and huge amounts of money and everything. But the rest of them, they're just losing their lives and they're getting poorer. And, and it's like, I don't know. I think slowly, even like that Diane Panchenko, she's probably trying to wake these people up in Ukraine that they've been duped, that, they should show that they're not stupid idiots, following along, being cannon fodder and stupid idiot tools, at the behest of, Zelensky's the puppet in the United States is just pulling all the strings. Look at, you got BlackRock, you got Biden. Biden's got his Rosemont Seneca and Burisma and all these other companies that he's involved with. Biden is making millions and millions of dollars, and his, brother Frank, they're all involved in this. Hunter?
Democracy. Well, that's democracy at work. That's how democracy works, demonocracy.
Yeah, but we're not supposed to talk about all of this stuff in the background where all this money is getting made. I was, like that book that Dave loaned me, written in 1935, from the highest decorated general in the history of the United States. And of course, he's blacklisted now. There's even things where they were trying to get him to assassinate President Roosevelt, this general. But anyway, he's, this book, which was actually a speech called War is a Racket. And he was talking about it in 1935. And this goes back even earlier. This probably goes back hundreds of years. And these people are there to get filthy rich and exploit everybody. And we're all the dummies. We're supposed to spill our blood, and get poorer. And what he was saying also, I remember that one of the greatest things they did is they came up with medals. So you get awarded a medal. So he says that all these people are straining to do all this stuff to get a medal. So in that way, you don't have to pay them. You don't have to pay them extra money because they'll strive to get a Medal of Honor or whatever. And so that's really cheap for governments and the corporations. Incredible.
Democracy, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So we fought for our country, and then all these companies. I mean, can you imagine who all these people that are making even deodorant? Say you make deodorant. Well, soldiers use deodorant, so they make a contract with the Department of Defense, like say some company, and they're selling their deodorant, toilet paper, leather for shoes, everything. It's a huge industry, and then they can do it for certain prices. And then I remember an Army hammer. Was the Air Force Army hammer was $350. So they're paying these companies what you used to pay $5 to go get a hammer. The Army was paying $350 for that, and a coffee pot for the Air Force was $2,000.
Well, yeah, because they got the contract with the military to sell them their products, because when they pay that much money for their hammers and toilets and papers and stuff, in the background, they're taking a lot of that money. They've got a lot of money, of course, the corporations, but they're taking a lot of the money, giving it back to these politicians, and the guys of what do they have, those like the Hillary Clinton foundations? They have foundations. They create
campaign contributions.
Yeah, and then they get that money into the foundation, and then the foundation help people out, and they charge 90% of their monies they get. They build the foundation and take the money, and then they don't do anything for the people that they're supposed to help, or if they do, it's very little. Very little. Yeah, foundations. That's the money laundering.
Oh, there's so many scams, and I'll tell you what, it's all coming out of for the most part, U.S. taxpayers' pockets. It's like this money.
Yeah, but
it's more than even just
that money's not there yet.
Like look at this money. We played some tape. I can't remember who the one that was saying it. It was old. And back then they used to give $3 billion every year to Israel. They said it was a loan, but Israel has never had to pay any of that back. So they always forgive the loan, and Israel can say, we've never defaulted on a debt to the United States because the United States has said you don't have to pay us back. Well, that was $3 billion. I think when we played that tape. But some years after that, they upped it to $4 billion, and that is just in those numbers. But they have even much more. They have a like $1 or $2 billion going through other channels to Israel, and it's and it comes back a lot of that for campaign contributions. That's why everybody gets up and claps for Israel, because Israel is the one that divvies out the U.S. taxpayers' money to all these politicians.
Well, here's something even wilder. The United States, right? Created the Fed. They print our own money. They print our own money.
Well, that's the lobby. That's the AIPAC, the American Israeli Public Affairs Committee.
Well, all that. They borrow that money from the Fed with interest. Why? It's the government's money. Why are we paying?
Well, that was private banks. That was the Warburgs.
Paying interest to for our own money, to borrow our own money. Who do we pay interest to? The World Bank or the Jew, or somebody's getting $1 trillion a year from our 30.
That's the deal. It's not our money. It's private bankers. It's the Warburgs and J.P. Morgan and all those people.
It's fascinating how it works, isn't it? It's fascinating.
Yeah. Well, it's divvied up into these big bankers' families and things like that. You got the what is it called? The Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. They're involved in all these central banks. They're in the Caribbean Central Bank. They don't tell anybody how much money they have, and we're supposed to think Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. Well, these people, they have a lot more than Elon Musk. They just don't tell you how much they have.
Oh yeah, they got.
I remember it was Jacob Rothschild. I think he's dead now, right? But these people, and even the Rockefellers have more than the Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And those are the men behind the curtain. And then somebody who's in front of the curtain is like George Soros, who's who's actually got a lot of money too, but he doesn't have anywhere near as much as the men behind the curtain. So, but he's the front man, and of course it's now Alex Soros. And unfortunately, I tell you what, I had a photo of, and this was incredible. I had some really incredible stuff, and for some odd reason, all of it's gone. But I had all these people that are involved. You guys remember Anthony Weiner? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the
New
name
York.
Anthony?
Yeah, New York.
Yeah, New York congressman. I guess he was actually a good congressman. He was married to Huma Aberdeen. Huma Aberdeen was the top advisor for Hillary Clinton. And then when he was caught, during this Hillary Clinton, and they were doing this investigation, they got his laptop and they saw that he was showing his penis to young girls and stuff like that. And Huma, I guess she heard about it as well. So she divorced him, and he's kind of still around, even though he was actually not a bad congressman, I hear. But Huma Aberdeen, she's now married to Alex Soros. So she's connected now with one of the people that are in control of the world system. And I think she's Arabic, actually, by descent. But in other words, she's also connected to Hillary Clinton. But there was even a recent photograph, which I had that, and I was going to show it. But like I said, somehow my pictures and everything are gone when I want to show this stuff. But it was a picture of Kamala Harris, Alex Soros, and Huma Abedin. It was taken recently, just in the past few days. And I was going to be going along with that when Elon Musk, he put a tweet out when Alex Soros immediately endorsed Kamala Harris. Elon Musk said, "Thank you for telling us who the next one is going to be. The next president or something."
Well, yeah,
so Elon Musk is no dummy. He knows what these guys push pull the strings and all that. But yeah, it's just so strange. Huma Abedin. So she's
Well, yeah. It's a wonderful world we live in, gentlemen.
Huma Aberdeen. I don't know anything about her talking or nothing, but it's interesting.
Okay, everybody. We just hit 2 hours.
And then some people are saying that who is this guy, Emhoff, who's the husband of Kamala, that he is actually like a powerful personality type guy, and he's actually going to be the one running this show.
Did you see the video where they were calling their white husbands certain white people like white?
Well, that's interesting. We're going to find out what goes on.
Man, did you see that
people
video?
Say Obama is pulling the strings.
They love to say the white man is the biggest threat to American
I guess
democracy.
we have to end then.
They're all married to white men. Did you hear that one? Remember, they were saying that white men are the greatest threat to American democracy and freedom.
I heard they had some name for the guy, but I don't know what.
And they're married to white men, and I just saw a video of where they're like praising their white husbands as like the vanilla puff, or I forget what they said, but it was something like
what married white men.
Yeah, Kamala's got a white husband. There's a couple
married white men is the biggest.
No, white men in general. White American men are a threat to the American democracy.
Oh, some of the words are breaking up.
And Kamala and them are married to white men. They have white husbands. And so we're thinking, well, isn't your husband a threat to your democracy? Yeah. Oh, no, he's not a threat. He's my husband. He's my white puff puff. My vanilla puff puff.
White men and democracy,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody.
We got to get Candace Owens to see what she says about that.
Can you two hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Candace Owens, she's married to a white man too. But Candace Owens, I'd like to see them debate her.
I wish Candace Owens was our president. That'd be cool.
You two can keep talking if you want. I've got to go and eat. It's 10 o'clock here. I haven't had dinner yet. So,
all right.
We'll be back on Wednesday. I'll be in the studio with Duke. I arrive in the afternoon and then drive straight to the studio for the live show.
Nice.
So unless I stay longer, who knows?
Yeah. How's the stuff coming along?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. Things are happening. It's just taking a bit of longer time than I thought or planned.
Well, thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for everybody that's viewing us. We appreciate it, and need more subscribers. So, what's your name? Duke can interview Maria Zakharova. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Take care. See you Wednesday.